Welcome to Uranus TV. Today's video is all about the top 10 most expensive paintings in the world, and here is a list of 10 of these pieces of art with jaw-dropping price tags. Keep watching. Number 10. 3 Studies of Lucian Freud by Francis Bacon, $142.4 million. Irish-born painter Francis Bacon created this lovely triptych in memory of artist Lucian Freud, a friend and professional competitor. Freud, the grandson of the well-known neurologist and psychoanalyst, met Bacon in 1945, and they painted each other many times. Bacon actually created 2 Freudian triptychs, but the first one has not been seen since 1992. The second one became the most expensive painting sold in 2013. Number 9. Portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer II by Gustav Klimt, $150 million. Symbolist painter Gustav Klimt was a renowned figure in the Viennese art scene in the early 20th century, heavily influenced by Japanese art styles and methods. This influence is reflected in his painting, the second of 2 portraits he painted of his close friend and patron of the arts, Adele Bloch-Bauer. Both paintings are among the artworks stolen during World War II but have thankfully been recovered. Oprah Winfrey bought the painting in 2006 for $88 million, but 10 years later, it was sold to an unknown buyer for $150 million. Number 8. The Masterpiece by Roy Lichtenstein, $165 million. Self-fulfilling prophecy or self-promotion? This true masterpiece is one of several works by pop artist Roy Lichtenstein, part of an art movement that began in the 1950s and was characterized by a vibrant use of color and a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor. As with several of his works, Masterpiece uses stylistic elements from cartoons and comics, including Ben-Day dots and speech bubbles. In recent years, art has come under question, with some claiming that it is just a superficial appearance with no substance, although many believe that there are layers of meaning behind the work. Number 7. Pendant Portraits of Martin Sulmans and Owapian Coppet by Rembrandt, $180 million. In 1634, the Dutch master was commissioned to paint a portrait of a young couple for their wedding. Both were part of Amsterdam's elite, and Owapian Coppet's marriage was coveted by many suitors in the city. These twin paintings are very special because they are the only 2 full-length portraits of Rembrandt. Although the couple's marital status is not recorded in history, their images have been inseparable since the day they were painted. They were acquired by the Louvre and the Rijksmuseum as a joint project and have been preserved to this day. Number 6. Number 6, Violet, Green, and Red, by Mark Rothko, $186 million. Undoubtedly one of the most unusual paintings on this list, Number 6 was created in 1951 by the Latvian-American artist Mark Rothko and is entirely made up of colors, especially violets, greens, and reds. However, this is characteristic of his works within the framework of abstract expressionism. The most notable aspect of the painting, however, is that it is one of 36 artworks named in the Bouvier affair by Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev and a Swiss art dealer. The infamous and ongoing legal battle between businessman Yves Bouvier, who allegedly defrauded his property clients to overcharge them for purchases. To stay up to date with our latest videos, make sure to subscribe and press the notification bell button to get some interesting stuff in upcoming videos. Number 5. Number 17A by Jackson Pollock, $200 million. Number 17A was created in 1948 by the famous American abstract expressionist painter Jackson Pollock as one of the early works in his drip painting series. Like most of Pollock's work, the painting, which appears to be a random series of doodles and ink splatters on canvas, received mixed reviews at the time. A closer look at the piece reveals exactly how each color was applied and with what high precision it was applied. If ever there was a visual representation of the method behind some madness, this is it. Number 4. Nafea fa Apoipo by Paul Gauguin, $210 million. French artist Paul Gauguin, an influential figure in post-impressionism, went largely unnoticed in his time, and his work only became popular after his death. In 1892 he went to Tahiti, one of many trips he made to the island to get away from what he saw as a life of betrayal in Europe. Most of his works from this period depict local women and landscapes, and although some consider them to be less impressive than his earlier works, they represent a simpler and more authentic way of life. Number 3. The Card Players by Paul Cézanne, $250 million. Paul Cézanne laid the foundation for the transition from Impressionism in the late 19th century to newer, more experimental movements such as Cubism in the early 20th century. One of his most famous series is The Card Players, which consists of 5 oil paintings painted between 1890 and 1895. As the name indicates, the paintings show groups of card players, with each painting changing the scene and other details. For example, there are 5 players in the first painting. Still, their number decreases to 2 in the third painting. In 2011, the Qatari royal family bought one of the paintings for a price that broke any previous art auction record. Number 2. Interchange by Willem de Kooning, $300 million. Willem de Kooning, a Dutch immigrant who immigrated to the United States in his 20s but did not become an American citizen until much later, is no stranger to the idea of transition. He is considered one of the most important artistic figures of the 20th century, along with abstract expressionists such as Mark Rothko and Jackson Pollock. In 1955 he painted Interchange in his life and career. Inspired by his surroundings in New York, this work is one of his earliest landscape paintings. Although it looks like random blobs of color, like any good abstraction, it takes close observation to discover the details. Number 1. Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci, $450.3 million. It may be one of the world's most famous paintings, partly because Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bought it in 2017. It was one of da Vinci's last works that seamlessly connected the physical world with the realms of religion and spirituality. 20 copies of the painting are believed to exist. The original tank was lost in the 17th century. A group of British art dealers bought the copy for just $10,000, and it was carefully restored and recognized as an original. It was originally scheduled to be presented in 2018 as part of the Louvre Abu Dhabi collection. Still, the work is being stored until an unspecified date, which only adds to its intrigue. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like it. Thanks for tuning in. Wishing you a great day.